what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through each individual hold so that you can actually see the holds close up. So we are going to start with hold 1. Again, this hold is used to try and have the client reach that still point. Place one hand on either side of the head. Try to rest your arms on the table like this, making sure that your fingers are touching all those suture points. So again, we have the frontal lobe and parietal lobes kind of coming together here. That's where my thumbs are going to rest. I have my pointer fingers resting and my middle finger resting kind of on the temporal lobe. And then my ring finger and pinky finger are covering the rest of the parietal lobe and part of that occipital lobe. Now again, the smaller your hands are, and depending on the size of the person's skull, you might not be able to spread your fingers as far as you need to touch all of the suture points, but do the best that you can so that you are able to affect all of those. So we're just going to hold this so you can actually get a nice close-up of where your fingers need to be. Good. Now we will go on to hold 2. Hold 2 again, we want to place one hand underneath their head so the occipital ridge is balancing right on the fingertips. So let me just show you here on the side. My fingertips are going to be kind of tucked right at that ridge of the skull. And then the rest of my hand is just covering the back of the occipital ridge and part of the well, mainly just the occipital bone. So like this. Their head may kind of go back and forth, and that's okay. With the other hand, you want to take your pinky and your thumb and try to place the pinky and the thumb on either side on their temporal lobe. You want to pull up slightly so you feel a little resistance in the skin, and just let these fingers kind of rest above. When I'm done with this hold, I'm actually going to show you an alternate hold that you can do too. We'll start with this hold first, which is hold 2. Good. Now an alternate hold that you can do if you're feeling like you want to get more release here at the temporal area is to take each hand, taking the 3 middle fingers and placing them right over this part of the head, which is part of that temporal lobe. So we're going to do it on this side and then also on the other side. And again, we're going to kind of lift up till we feel resistance. With this one, you can actually get some nice movement. You might feel it more with your hands. So their head may not be moving around, but their actual skin will feel like it's moving underneath your fingers, and that actually is the tension releasing in that connective tissue. Sometimes too with these holds, remember the client will have bodily reactions. Like I said, their breathing may change, it may slow, it may speed. Sometimes too their eyes, you'll see their eyelids moving. And it's just a normal twitch response to the release. So we'll just call this alternate hold 2. Good. Now for hold 3. We're going to place our hands like this underneath them again, and their occipital ridge is going to be balancing over these fingertips. So I'll have Ryan turn his head to the side just so you can kind of see. So they're right along that ridge. And you want the client's head to be relaxed. And you can see my fingers, how they're kind of pointing upwards. We want to stimulate this release a little bit with a little bit of pressure that's created by the weight of their head on my fingertips. Again, this is hold 3. Good. Again, the last hold, hold 4, is the exact same as hold 1. So we want to place our hands on the side of their head, trying to make sure that our fingers are again touching the frontal lobe, the temporal, parietal, and occipital. And try to always keep yourself as relaxed as possible. Good. Now I'm going to show you the abdominal sacrum hold. Again, you want to take one hand and place it underneath the client. Let them know that you're going to place your hand at their sacrum. Go ahead and rest. And then they're going to lay back down. You don't want them to hold their body up. And your hand is laying flat like this over the sacrum. And then the other hand you're just going to place over the abdominal area. And then, again, we are just going to hold this hold so you can see the placement. Okay.